right, so I am sitting in the basement in a tiki bar in Huntsville, Alabama, to meet a guy who opened a restaurant the week they closed them in the middle of the pandemic. Now he's fighting through into the new year. Behind the dish this week, we're going to meet Jeremy. We're going to eat Chinese hot dogs. We're going to eat Indian hot dogs. We haven't eaten any of those hot dogs. And we're going to see what this place is all about. So stay tuned, stay hungry, and let's ride. All right, so I am sitting here with Jeremy. This place is called Fat Sammies. It's here in Huntsville, Alabama, in the downtown area. And you opened this restaurant in March, literally as they were closing dining. So that's ballsy. Was it just bad timing, or you were going to power through this no matter what?
It's bad timing, but also I think it allowed us to work out like really all the kinks that we would have experienced as a restaurant newly opening. So it's fortunate, but disfortunate at the same time. So we took it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So you describe your food. Describe it the way you told me it was.
We call it Asian stoner food, and the joke is, because I don't smoke weed, that it still works pretty well. It's globally influenced. We use a lot of ingredients and techniques from other cultures, but put it in familiar dishes so that people aren't that sketched out when they try it.
Like hot dogs.
Yep.
And you started this, you said you were doing pop-ups, people weren't really interested in it, you just kept grinding along until somebody finally did.
Yeah, we found a couple investors that wanted to open a restaurant. They wanted to kind of do a gastropub. I talked them out of that, said you should do a tiki bar with some really crazy food. Yeah. And that's what we did, and it worked out really well.
I never thought I'd be in a tiki bar in a basement in Huntsville, Alabama. So you've got a niche that no one else got.
Exactly.
Okay, so I looked at your menu. The food looks phenomenal. We're going to get to that. I asked you about baseball. You're more of a hockey guy, second week in a row. Penguins fan.
Absolutely. Since childhood, I'm the black sheep of the family because I didn't root for the Cleveland Browns or the Indians.
Or we can't call them. The next year, one more year, and then there'll be the Cleveland baseball team, I'm sure. Yeah. All right, so tell me a little bit about you. When did you start cooking?
I was a surgical assistant for 9 years. Went to culinary school when I was 28 because I hated that.
Yeah.
And then went to culinary school in Vermont. Went to Cleveland because my family's from there. Cooked there for about 10 years. Came back here, decided it was time to open a restaurant. Worked at a lot of Asian places up north, like I was talking to Albert about.
Gotcha.
And that's what gave me the ideas to kind of.
You guys know Albert? He did Behind the Dish. He does sushi hot dogs here locally.
And that was it.
Nice. All right, so today, tell me, what are we going to get to?
We're going to try one of our hot dogs that we love because we had to put a hot dog on the menu. It's a Chinese chili dog. It's got mapo tofu. It's kind of a spicy Chinese chili. We top it with cheese and then pickled mustard greens instead of mustard. And then the other hot dog is for something that we're doing. It's a new virtual ghost kitchen concept called Bollygood. It's Indian-inspired stuff. So this one's a Irish curry banger sausage with mango chutney, paneer cheese, mustard oil marinated tomatoes, chilies, and I think a smoked paprika mayo, and that's it.
Oh, this sounds phenomenal. And now I got to ask, so tell me about you and the pandemic. How has it panned out? You opened this thing, they closed dining. It came in tonight, it's a rainy night. You guys had some tables here. How's it going?
Very slow during the week. During the weekends, we're pretty busy, and then we're fortunate for that. The whole Bollygood thing was basically to get a lunch crowd where there's not really a lot of lunch business downtown right now, but I mean, it's worked out, and I think we're doing good. We're paying the bills, and the lights are on, so that's all that matters, right?
Right? That's all you can ask for nowadays. A lot of people can't say that. So we're going to talk to Ricky, and we're going to talk to Albert. Both are here for the party. They were nice enough to bring me a Pabst Blue Ribbon, which I haven't had since I was probably 16 years old in the woods somewhere. Tastes just as bad as it did then. All right, so I said you're going to meet Ricky. This is Ricky. Me and Ricky actually have a past. Our paths crossed together. He worked in a restaurant I worked for, and he reached out to me and he said, hey, I saw you're Behind the Dish with Albert, and there's a place downtown that you got to try. So Ricky, during the pandemic, has been out there boosting local restaurants. So I had to get him on camera, ask him a few questions as well. I think he's fighting the good fight when people are out there struggling. So Ricky, what made you get into, being a local restaurant guy here in Huntsville?
Absolutely. So I myself have worked in the restaurant industry this past 15 years, and I actually opened up a restaurant downtown near this one, and dining rooms closed. I was serving. I had been, posting my thoughts on Facebook. Before that, dining rooms closed. I didn't have a job, but I really loved shouting out to places that I thought were doing it right. So the pandemic hit, and I started reaching out to different businesses and be like, hey, I have this little thing going, #RickyHSV. I want to spotlight you guys. Like, I wasn't making any money. Like, can I come in, get a free lunch or something like that, and post it? And little by little, nobody knew what was open, when they were open, what was available. So I made it a point to spend 6 to 8 hours on Facebook for literally months. Like last year, like that was probably my average, 7 hours on Facebook a day. And my name got around. Eventually, I saw what you were doing, and I was like, I would love to introduce you to Fat Sammies because it's my personal favorite restaurant here in Huntsville at the moment. So
I can
that's
see
how we're
why.
here.
So the food's phenomenal. And this guy's out here, he's a champion, man. We talk about every week how important it is to not only boost local businesses, but keep each other in our industry supported. Ricky's an industry guy, I'm an industry guy. We like to find these local places and really pick them up. So share these reviews online. The more exposure these guys get, the more people come down and places like this get to keep surviving. So Ricky, thank you so much for reaching out. We're gonna wrap it up with Albert. I appreciate you, man, and hopefully,
Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, anytime. Thanks for having me, and thanks for this Pabst Blue Ribbon. Ding. All right, so we're here. We're pumping up local restaurants, and I'm wandering around the place while the food's cooking. And you introduced me to is one of your cooks, right?
Right.
And what's his name?
His name's Brian Brown, and he is dope as hell.
His name is Brian Brown, and he is dope as hell. Why is he dope as hell? Because there's crazy carvings in the tables here, and then there's these cutting boards I was looking at up front. And he tells me that he makes these. Now, you got to look at these things, man. Every one of them is unique. Every one of them he does himself. And if you want one of these things, man, hit up Jeremy. He takes requests. So I'm going to make him make me an Iron Man one.
Yeah,
because
and
I
he will
love
do
Iron
it.
Man, man.
He will do it.
Look at this. The guy's so talented. I couldn't do something like this. So he makes these little cutting boards. Good for fruit. You cut little limes for your margaritas. And then you can have it something cool like that. So just another thing here at Fat Sammy's for you to check out. Pretty cool. They're putting the dogs together now, man. Me and Jeremy are ready to do this. This man is sitting on the bench. Why? Because he don't play when it comes to hot dogs. Okay, so this is insane. Like, if you could see these things, I don't even know where to start, man. This is a foot-long hot dog. It's on Hawaiian rolls, and then talk to me. I'm gonna eat. You talk.
Fair enough. So it's huge, obviously. It's very hard to get your mouth around. You have to unhinge your jaw.
That's what she said.
Hey. So we did a riff on a chili dog, but we made it distinctly Asian American, I guess would be the best way to say it. The chili on the dog is our take, I guess, on a traditional Chinese dish called mapo tofu. It's got pork, it's got tofu, spicy chili crisp, some Szechuan peppercorns, makes it kind of tingly, spicy, delicious, very rich like chili. It's got some cheddar cheese, and then we put pickled mustard greens on top for the mustard component for the dog.
There is so much going on there, and it's like, again, man, it's crazy. Like, you get everything. You get the mustard, a little bit of chili, the softness of the tofu, the hot dog, the sweetness of the bun, the cheese. Like, you think it's going to be it's perfect, man. This thing is amazing. And you call this?
The Chinese chili dog, aka the chili dog
The
on crack.
Chinese chili dog. This second one is for the Ghost Kitchen. So this thing is, you said it's kind of like an Indian.
It is. So we did some research. We want to do like Indian burritos and Indian tacos, Indian hot dog, of course. This one is a sausage made in Atlanta by Haywood Provisions. They are fucking awesome. It's a curried banger sausage. And then we take some mustard oil and roast tomatoes and marinate them in that for the mustard component again. Mango chutney, paneer cheese with Indian hard cheese, and some chili peppers, a little smoked paprika mayo to give it a little smokiness. And that's it, and it's delicious, I think.
You don't think? It is. Unreal, man. It's so good. And it's crazy because we're in Huntsville, Alabama. We're not in New York City.
Yep.
You know, we're not in Los Angeles. Some of the best hot dogs that this guy has ever eaten in his life is in Huntsville, Alabama. So if you haven't been out here, get your ass out here because the food scene out here is phenomenal. People are sleeping on it.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, you can tell he loves his staff, man. He's really good to everybody.
Yep.
You can tell they love him. The food's phenomenal. The restaurant is cool. Get out here and support this guy. I can't say enough, man. You've definitely hit a home run.
Thanks,
Congratulations. And we'll talk soon. Thank you so much, man. We're going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to keep eating these hot dogs. And I'm still working on my Paps. I'm not a beer guy, but I'm going to finish this thing.
Chef's kiss.
three dudes stuffing their faces. So,
Sauce and
hot dog with. What do you think, man? You're a hot dog guy.
This thing is a bomb. I just told Jeremy, do not start a food truck. No, in this town.
No competition.
You know what's crazy? Anytime I come to this place, it's for the experience. There's so many layers in this thing that you're not expecting. Just like fireworks. Imagine fireworks like
Fireworks,
And,
but
like, it
hot
builds up.
dogs in your mouth.
deli dog. Like Jesus, this is actually probably my favorite thing that I've had in your restaurant. That's good. No joke.
I didn't know I needed mustard and
No
greens
joke.
in my life until today.
The flavor, man.
So everything, the chili oil, I consider.
Yes.
I don't even like tofu, and the tofu's delicious on
I didn't
that.
know there was
I'm like,
pork in your tofu.
Bushy, yeah.
yep, pork in the tofu. That's a good kind of tofu.
This is a good sausage, man.
Yeah, this is good stuff. So we're gonna keep
Genuinely.
eating, then we'll wrap it up. But man,
Genuinely the best thing ever.
come down here, try this stuff. It's delicious. I know you recognize this guy. He was the most watched episode of Behind the Dish until recently, and I think he's going to fight to get his title back. So he's only
fight
down
it.
down
Yeah.
by a couple views. He's wearing a beautiful T-shirt. So right there, he was actually. I think he might have got his before I got mine. I'd have to check with Vitaly about that. But how's it going, man? How's the food truck going?
It's pretty good. Right now it's in the winter, so winter is always a slow month for us. So we just, take it easy. We still go out a few times a week and just try to come up with new menu for this coming year.
Can't wait. Just,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember, man, those hot dogs are so good,
Yeah.
and his niche is so cool. So plus he's a father. He got 3 kids right now,
Oh, yeah.
twins who just turned 1.
Yep.
So staying busy, big changes. Nathan's hot dogs this year as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know,
yeah.
so again, you got to tell him sponsorship. Buy a
Oh
T-shirt,
yeah,
send me
T-shirt,
free hot
Ballnine, hey,
dogs.
all day, Ballnine. Yeah.
So I know you guys love this guy. I love him. I see him every time I'm here. We're gonna wrap it up. Do you remember what we say at the end? Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay
hungry.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
On Behind the Dish for Ballnine.